Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
And today we're taking a look at this game.
Epona.
Epona,
I
that's right.
looked it up. Also, it accepts, they said acceptable as Epona, but emphasis on the Po.
It's called Horse. Well, it's about horses, and it's done by very famous designer Vladimir Suchy, best known for Underwater Cities, probably.
Yeah.
Well, quite a few different games.
Also a delicious game.
Yep, this is his company. So this is a delicious game. It's about raising horses in stables. More like a tableau builder, sort of. I'll show you. In this game, players are going to be scoring points by having horses and stables and equipment, all sorts of things that are on these piles of cards. Each player is going to start with some stables. And a stable, let's take a closer look at a stable. This means the stable needs 6 cards for it to be complete. And it needs to have all 3 of these elements in this. And then it might give a way to score. So for example, this one gives 3 points for each vehicle that's in this stable. And when you complete this stable, you will get a reward. And you'll just mark here to say whether you finished it. If you complete it with the cards that you need up here, then you get the reward. And if you come here, you would still complete it, but you would no longer get the reward. You also have an owner card, and sometimes in the course of the game will tell you to take an owner action. You'll put a cube on your card and take that actions. When these cubes are filled, I can take a better action. And this also just gives some other information about your character. So you'll start with 3 stables, and as the game goes by, you have the opportunity to add more stables to you, but you can only ever have 3 open stables at any given point in time. Now, the game can be played 2 different ways when it comes to getting cards on a round. There is the low interaction mode, in which you're going to put several of these cards out based on the number of players, and players will take these cards, and you are going to be choosing each card, and the card will tell you which decks to draw from. Some cards will have a cost at the top corner of them. The other option is each player will get a letter, and then each round of the game, based on how many players in the game, so for example, let's say we're playing a 4-player game, then A and B and C and D work together. In round 2, B and C and D and A, etc. And one of these letters, the player, will be drawing a certain number of cards off the decks and then splitting them into 2 groups, and then the other player will pick one of those 2 groups, and then the player who split them keeps the remaining cards. So you can see there's all kinds of cards here. There's more stables like you can always take, but there is these cards here, equipment, then there's people who work in your stables, and then there are horses of 2 different types. And as you take these cards and deciding which ones you're going to keep or get rid of, you can always discard cards for money. Some cards cost money to keep them, but you will then place them in your stables as you get the different cards, trying to remember that you're trying to match these requirements that the stables might have. But not just are there requirements, but as the game progresses, many symbols on the cards will affect cards that they are next to. So a card might be affected by the card above it. So some cards have requirements at the top, others give immediate bonuses. A lot of cards will have immediate bonuses. So for example, when I build this card, I will immediately get one of those actions on my owner card like I mentioned before, and then I can draw 3 cards from the purple deck, the working horses deck, and keep one into my hand. This one simply gives me 2 coins. There are also mares and stallions out there, and you can, if you want to, breed them over the course of the game. You can breed 2 in your own stables, or you can breed with someone else as long as you both have permission. A stallion can breed with as many horses as possible, but each mare can only breed once. But they have to be the same type. Like this horse could not breed with this one because they are different types of horses. But if you do have the same type of horse, then let's say, for example, this was a stallion. It's not. But let's say they were. Then I would put one of these tokens. You have to have these tokens to breed, and that's going to be worth a point at the end of the game. But the mare would get a colt, and that would match the type of horse that they were. And these are going to be worth 2 points at the end of the game. If the horses do not match, then they would simply just get 1 point. Other cards might require riders. So like this card up here requires a rider at the end of the game to get 3 points, and you just simply need to have cards that give you those icons. There's a lot more involved in this. There's a lot of endgame scoring. There's bonuses cards for scoring. There's card bonuses that happen. There's owner icons over the course of the game. There's a lot going on. But the gameplay itself is not particularly complicated. It's mostly you drawing cards off a bunch of piles and keeping some of them and putting them out in front of you, or doing the interactive variant where it's an I split, you choose type situation, which even works in a odd player game because the one person who's not in a pairing will simply draw a certain number of cards and keep some of them. Once you've gone through the set number of rounds, everyone's going to score. You just go through every card, whether it's a stable, a horse, whatever it might be, and score it. And whoever has the most points is the winner. Now realize I didn't go over a lot of the symbols in that overview.
There's a lot of symbols.
But in reality, the gameplay is pretty simple. Take stuff, discard it for money, keep it in your hand for a future turn, or play it. And that's it. It's just that when you play it, that might trigger something, which lets you get more cards.
Which you can't. That was one thing that we played wrong initially when we were first playing, is there is a limit to the, like, drawing all those extra cards. You can't just draw a bajillion cards, even if you trigger multiple things. There's like a maximum.
That's not particularly clear in the rules. But it makes those cards...
Yeah, it is. It's like in one of those little, like, side things. Yeah.
The problem is I think those cards are still better than other cards. A card that gives you another card is a big deal because it's, if nothing else, 2 money.
Yeah.
But real quickly, one of the negative points of this game, and in fact is a negative point for me to the point where I'm dropping my score a little bit, is the vast amount of symbols. And not just are they symbols, I think the game itself doesn't particularly look good. The art's fine, but the symbols on the cards and the art, you're kind of cross-eyed, and then when you have a whole tableau in front of you, and at the end when you do the scoring, this is similar to scoring from games like Fantasy Realms and stuff like that, except you don't have 7 cards. You might have 20.
You have so many.
It is a lot of effort to go through and do that, and when you're drafting cards, you have to sit there and go, okay, do I want this card? Because that matches that mare, but it's purple when I need it gray. And there's just so much that the game feels like it slogs for no reason.
I think with that point, because it is very symbol heavy, in which I play tons of Euros that are symbol heavy, but because those symbols, like you mentioned, they're on different parts of the cards at different times, and the quantity of cards that you can have in each stable is different, and you can also lay them out. You don't have to start left to right. You can lay them kind of anywhere. And so it's hard to visualize what your stable is going to look like at the end, because you could have a row of 3 cards, 6 cards, 4 cards. And so it is a little bit difficult to piece together, especially those cards that it really matters what they're next to. And it's on top of that, with the I split you choose choice, it's really hard to look at the other person and go, I know what cards you want.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess for some people that might be a positive to not have hate drafting in the game, since it's hard to do.
That's the point of I split you choose, though.
Sometimes the I split you choose is more, I want this more than the other. For me, that's still the main thing, Wendy. Wendy's mean.
No. So for me, I split you choose is all about valuing what the other player wants.
Oh, you mean you want to kind of give them what they want so they don't take the one you want?
Yes, and I can't balance that out because I look at their tableau and I go, oh, so many things going on.
She would still cut you. But yeah, and so you don't have to play that method.
No, you can play the other one.
You can play the other one. And in fact, honestly, there's another gripe I have. Just pick one. The fact that there's 2 and they're written in the rule book side by side, and I'm like, wait, what? You're reading different things. Yeah, they're in different colors, but it's a mess. They should have picked one and then at the end said, hey, you want more
alternate mode.
Right. Yeah. Then you put that at the end and we don't have to do it. Just pick the one you think is better. And frankly, I don't even know which one's better. I think I would prefer the quote unquote low interaction.
I think so. I think that it adds a cool effect of, like, you have to make those choices on your turn of, do I want to spend more money to get more cards, to get more draws, or do I want to earn money, because that's a good way to earn money, is to get those, little bits here and there, but I get less cards, I get less draws, I get less choices. So I think that's an interesting Euro-y balance, and because the interaction with the I split you choose isn't great to me. It's very fine. I enjoy I split you choose games, but I want to be able to see what the other player has. I want to be able to value that. I just don't feel like I can make the most of it, so I'd rather play the other mode.
That being said, there's a lot I do like. I like putting out the horses. I like attaching everything. I like that the rows match. I like that you need the riders to go on other cards. And so every card has its own purpose. I might want a vehicle so I can keep more cards from turn to turn, or put cards at the end, or what have you. There's a lot of cool concepts in the game. I just feel like it struggles under the weight of all the upkeep, and the symbols is more than the weight. The game isn't particularly a heavy game.
It's not. It's not. You know what I really do appreciate, though, is that they split, like I think it's the purple deck, like split a couple of the decks into two piles.
Yeah, that's the green deck and the
you have specific
yellow
courses that you can look for. Like, do I want a workhorse? I want a workhorse. I really appreciate that, because when you are really searching for specific types of horses, especially when you're trying to do your breeding and whatever, I like that you can look in those specific decks and you feel like you have more of a chance. It's not just everything shuffled together and random.
The breeding is interesting, although it's another one of those things that feels like it has two more rules than the benefit it gives you.
Yeah.
To the point where you're just like, forget y'all, I'll work on my own. Okay, I need somebody else. And then you work with somebody else because you're giving them the points. But the game isn't so long, but longer than it needs to be. Here's the thing. I'm coming down to a 6 on this. I don't dislike it. I think there's some interesting ideas here, but I can't recommend it right now the way it is. This needs an overhaul. They need to honestly cut out the interactive thing, because, again, I think it's just too much. A is with B. Who's A? I'm A. I'm B. Okay, I can't see your tableau from over here. That just feels messy, and I thought the breeding's a little messy. No pun intended. There's just, and then all the symbols and stuff. There's just so much. But at the core, I like a lot of it. And I would like to play it. It feels unpolished.
I think I very much agree with you. I was going to make this a 6.5 because I feel like it's almost there. I like a lot of what's going on. And I'm fine with, like I had mentioned, the visualizing your stables at different lengths and all of that. Like, I'm fine with a lot of what's going on. And I'm usually fine with symbols, but I agree. It just feels clunky. It feels like we're trying to figure out, okay, who interacts with who this round? Oh, it's a 3-player game, so you have A and I have B and C. So B and C, and then you're going to do your own thing. Like, it feels like a lot of that in between
feels
stuff.
Great to be I'm like, I'm the odd person out. Yes, so much easier.
I get to choose and not have to split everything. Yeah. So I think that you're right. There's just a lot of extra unpolished stuff in here. If it was brought a little bit more down, made a little bit more clean, I think it's cool that it's a unique theme that I, for one, don't know a lot about.
That's true.
But I feel like I learned a little bit. I learned that Epona is the Celtic goddess of horses. So that's cool. See, the internet tells me things because of board games.
And Breath of the Wild.
And Breath of the Wild. But yeah, I liked a lot of what's going on, but there are also so many tile laying games out there that do a lot of similar things. And so I think the stuff that they added to make it unique and different didn't necessarily make it more fun.
All right. Well, there you go. That's Epona. That's how I'm pronouncing it. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I want to say thank you to some of our GameFound backers.
Yes, we do.
Thank you to James DiPaolo and Barry Diggs, to Sarah Corcoran, to Indigo the Dog, J.B. Lewis, and Arno Reichel. Thank you guys for backing the Dice Tower, and thank you everybody for watching. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.